Welcome friends to another r/malicious compliance video. So I was checking my channel statistics and only one of you isn't subscribed. So if you're that one person, make sure you subscribe and help out the channel. That said, our first story of the day is by NetBlues. I can't open the safe, but I can eat your dinner. I used to work as a shift manager for a pizza franchisee across a handful of local locations. I closed most nights at one location or another, which usually meant I was alone inside the store after dinner anytime the drivers were delivering. This meant answering the phone, working the register, and making all the pizzas while we're still open. One day I got robbed, and the owners changed the policies on how much cash should be in the register and how frequent drops into the safe had to happen. I didn't have the ability to open the safes, only deposit into them using a special one-way door. One night we had several cash orders with large bills that left my register a little lean, which was a rare occurrence. No problem, the dinner rush is over and statistically I should be totally fine. In walks a customer for a pickup. He wants to pay for an $11 order in cash with a $100 bill. Normally this would be fine, but I'd just been wiped out of my 20s and had all of maybe $50 between the 1s, 5s, and 10s. The 50s and 100s got directly dropped into the safe under the new policy. I say, "I'm sorry, I don't have enough change for a $100 bill right now. Do you have anything smaller or a card?" He had a $20 bill in his wallet that I caught a glimpse of when he opened it. The customer said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I had a lot of cash orders for dinner and the register basically got wiped out." The customer in a condescending tone said, "Okay, so get more change from the safe or something. I'm sure you can figure this out." I say, "I don't have access to the safe or a means to get change right now. I'm sorry about that." The customer says, "I don't see how you're making this my problem. Send someone to the bank or an ATM." I say, "I'm really sorry, it's just me and the bank's closed, but there's an ATM across the street in the convenience store if you want to use it." The customer says, "I said you should go to an ATM. This is ridiculous." I say, "I apologize for the inconvenience. I can't leave the store, and corporate does not issue bank cards to in-store employees. However, some good news is that I think you might have overlooked a $20 bill in your wallet." For some reason, this sets him off, and he says, "Why are you looking at my freaking wallet?" He then launched off into this speech about minding my own business and $100 bills being legal tender and must be accepted. I had placed another order in the oven before walking to the register, and at this point those other pizzas were exiting the oven conveyor and are at risk of falling. This also means that we've been talking for about 7 minutes by this point. I say, "I want to reiterate that I'm by no means refusing to accept, just implying you would be significantly shortchanged if I tried to do so. Your $11 order would end up being a $50 order." The customer says, "I think you're full of crap and you can get what you need out of your safe. You just get your kicks by getting to assert your power because you can't do better than minimum wage. If you can't break this bill, then just cancel my order." I say, "Listen, I've tried to be polite. You're not really working with me here, and I need to box other orders now. I can't open the safe." I said the same thing to the last person who asked. He had a gun to my forehead, and he was even less friendly than you. If you would like to cancel the order, then I can do that. While I can't open the safe, I can most certainly eat your dinner. He found the $20 bill. Do you guys think it's weird that this guy even tried to spend a $100 bill at a pizza place? Or do you think that that should be a fairly reasonable thing? Let me know in the comments down below. This next story is by Alejandra Loves Tacos. "We don't have bills at all, just coins for your change." So I used to work as an opening manager at a fast food restaurant. It's up there among the top 10, but it's not your typical go-to breakfast place, so it's not as busy in the morning, meaning we had a few $5 bills and $1 bills and a crap ton of coins every morning shift. This one customer comes in, has been here a couple times paying with small bills, and goes to pay with a $50 bill on a $6 purchase. I say, "We don't have a lot of bills, just mostly coins. Do you have anything smaller?" The customer says, "Don't you have enough?" I say, "No, it's early so no change. It's just mostly coins. Or you could pay with card." At this point, they open their wallet and I see smaller bills. I kind of get annoyed since this could either have been dealt with a card or a $10 bill, but I'm just trying to make the morning go faster. And once again, telling them I don't have enough bills, that it's mostly going to be coins. The customer says, "I'm paying with it. I don't care about the coins." I say, "Okay, great." I cash them out and start taking a few $5 bills and $1 bills and about $10 in all types of coins. At this point, they've been waiting for about 5 minutes and I see them getting upset. I just reach over and say, "Be careful, it's a lot of coins." I get a look of disbelief in them trying to figure out where to put their change. Next morning, I saw them pay with card. I don't know if this is just the next wave of what Karen-like behavior is going to be, but if a cashier at a register tells you that they don't have a lot of bills to break your change, I highly doubt they're doing it out of some kind of lust for power to hold it over on you. It's probably because it's gonna be an annoying situation for both of you guys otherwise. Our next story is by Prestigious Gold 585. Deli slave gets tired of being abused because crybabies are full of baloney. Unsuspecting Chuck, not the real name, equals up Chuck, got hired into the mall Wart Deli, much to their sadness. Management chumps equals chumps. Abuse those who work there every day for their own reasons. Customer crybaby equals crybaby. Customers who are nice enough elsewhere in the store, but are abusive to deli workers without fail. It's a mystery, but they're full of baloney, so that might explain it. Up Chuck was sick of working in the deli. They hated working in the deli. They loathed working in the deli. They were so unhappy they would be crying while working in the mall Wart Deli, misery day in, day out. The chumps would not move Upchuck because Upchuck was good and conscientious at their job. Upchuck was pretty good at guessing how much to cut to end up with the weight at the thickness the abusive crybabies wanted, but wasn't perfect since everything weighs differently. So Crybaby comes and asks for 1 pound of cheese cut medium thickness. A completely useless, meaningless description like the word beige-ish. Upchuck cuts a piece and asks if that's okay, and it is. Upchuck cuts a bunch onto the sheet of paper and goes to weigh it. Upchuck had cut way too much, like half a pound too much, but knows they'll just have to throw it away anyway since it can't be sold to anyone else, so they put a last piece on, which puts it over by 0.06 pounds, which most customers don't mind, and they print out the cost label and add all the rest of the extra they cut by mistake and put it in the bag with the price label on it and gives it to Crybaby. Crybaby got extra without paying extra, and Upchuck doesn't need to throw any away. Everybody's happy. Or so Upchuck thought. Upchuck goes on to wait on other crybabies, snapping and foaming at the mouth at them as usual. Then the original crybaby comes back angry that Upchuck didn't give them 1 pound. They made it 1.06 pounds. Obviously trying to make more money for the mall Wart Deli at the expense of customers. No, Upchuck couldn't care less about making the mall Wart Deli any extra money or not. The deli throws away food all day long, every day. That's where they lose money. Crybaby demanded there only be what Crybaby asked for. 1 pound, not more. Fine. Wonderful. No good deed goes unpunished. Just fine. So Upchuck takes it all out of the bag and removes about a third of it and adds back up to just at or under 1 pound. Shows that adds a piece, it will be over, takes it off. Adds the extra to the big pile still in their hand, prints out the label, then throws the extra on the tray next to the slicer as waste. Crybaby starts objecting that they wanted the amount over 1 pound taken off, not a third of it. Upchuck shows that it is just at or below 1 pound now. More would have put it over, and explains that they cut too much, but decided to just give it to Crybaby so they didn't have to throw it away. Crybaby says to just put it back on then. Upchuck says no, they can't, it's already thrown away. Crybaby says they can see it sitting on the tray. Upchuck says yes, so now it's contaminated and can't be sold to anybody. Nothing is sold to anybody if it isn't put on the paper, not just this instance, it's a food safety issue. Crybaby wants more cut and that it should be given to them for free. Upchuck says they can cut more, but they can't just give it to Crybaby, they would have to charge for it. They've already cost the deli more by throwing some away. Crybaby can't come up with any good reason why they should be given any free and realizes they just messed up because by having their tantrum over 0.06 pounds, they cheated themselves out of half a pound of free cheese. Malicious compliance achieved. So when these people stop at the gas pump to fill their cars up, and you're like, I'm only gonna put in $20, and they let it accidentally hit $20.05. Are they gonna be the kind of people that drop to their knees like, no, God, why? 5 cents? The man is crushing me and taking all my money. No, is that extreme? Then why are they acting so upset over 0.06 extra pounds of cheese? Find a new thing to complain about. Our next story is by Est Edge. Enjoy the challenge. I was working as a cook 2 summers ago in a remote hotel, which offered its workers a room to stay. Commuting wasn't feasible. Mid-season, my boss left and a new boss came in from outside the company. Let's call him Dumbo. Dumbo fired almost everyone within the first fortnight. He kept 3 people in the kitchen, himself included, for 70 rooms plus events and such. I was the only one left who knew how to do breakfast company style, but he wanted changes. Hey Dumbo, would you like me to explain to you in detail how I've been prepping and serving breakfasts so you can tell me what to change? They say, keep doing them as usual. I'll chill you out if necessary. He did tell me not to prep so much as I had been doing. Breakfasts are done on the fly. Prep is for spineless cooks. You'll know if you ever get to be as experienced as I am. So when the hotel was full, I almost couldn't keep up. It was both buffet and menu. Enjoy the challenge was his answer when I told him. On top of that, I had to do extra work to help him and the other cook with desserts and such because we were so understaffed. So my shifts were approximately 12 to 13 hours each for the last month I worked there. The moment I saw my rota for the next month, 15 days doing breakfasts nonstop, 1 day off, and 10 more working days, I gave him my resignation notice. They owed me days off, so my resignation meant they had to let me go on my 12th day. The day before a wedding and a fully booked hotel. He begged me to extend my stay as a personal favor to him, and I told him no. But it gets even better. I prepped as instructed, so next morning, just before I left, I went into the kitchen to get a coffee and he came to me to complain about my prep, while literally running through the kitchen to keep up, so I could remind him his rules were to try and do everything on the fly, no matter if the hotel's empty or full, and you have so much more experience than me, it should be easy. You just gotta love the people that stroll in and they're on their high horse, talking down to you like, you know kid, someday you might be on my level. Follow me around and keep up with me and you just might get there. It's like, have you ever wanted to throw up more than a moment like that? And our final story of the day is by Judgy AF. Complain to the guys in back? No problem. Some backstory, I don't live in my home country, but somewhere where I don't speak the local language very well yet, both in Europe. I can hold a conversation fine, but if I want to get things done, I use English. Everyone speaks it, and they automatically switch with foreigners anyway if you don't speak their language well enough. They also don't generally like the non-tourist kind of foreigners that much, and will make it difficult for you to get anything done. It's been kind of annoying since I moved here. COVID was still going strong, and they were limiting the number of customers in all stores by leaving the exact number of shopping carts out front as the number of people allowed inside. The cart's coin slots were covered everywhere so you don't have to touch money, except at the hardware store where I was at. They also have 2 sizes of carts here that you can't mix when putting them back. When I was done and tried to return the cart, I saw that the 2 sizes were all mixed up, making it completely impossible to return the cart in the normal way and get the coin out of it. So I went to the info station to ask for some help and let them know what's going on, as a few people already started to gather because they had the same problem. They informed me it's not their problem, they can't unmix the carts, and they most certainly can't give me the cart money back. Apparently, I needed to go around back to talk to the guys at the large items loading area? Cue malicious compliance. I ditched my cart outside and went back and told the first guys I saw that they sent me here to let them know what's going on with the shopping carts out front. He was obviously surprised and offered to call the info station, so if I go back there, they'll assist. I told him, no thanks, I don't need the card coin that much, so I'm just letting him know that there's a giant mess and a bunch of angry people outside, but I'm leaving. It felt great to finally have the final say and leave a local annoyed for a change. Honestly, in some situations, the most satisfying thing is being able to go, nope, this is out of my hands, I have no responsibility here, I'm going home. It's just liberating. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel, and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.